On Friday, August 2nd, 2024, shortly after 11 o'clock that evening, a sense of urgency enveloped the Houston Police Department as they received a call reporting an incident at the Caroline Apartments, a prominent residential complex situated in the bustling downtown area. The Caroline Apartments, known for their vibrant community and proximity to key city attractions, became the focal point of concern as police units swiftly arrived on the scene.
Houston police are still investigating a deadly shooting that happened late last night. Officers were called to an apartment on Caroline Street in downtown Houston. That's where they found a woman dead with multiple gunshot wounds in a common area at the complex. Authorities haven't named a suspect yet, but are still working to find more information.
We're reviewing the cameras here at the complex and also in the downtown business district to try to determine if we can get some suspect information.
The Houston Police Department is treating the case as a homicide. At this time, they don't have an identity of the dead woman or information on if she was a resident at that apartment.
This incident occurred in a city that has consistently grappled with crime rates. According to the Houston Police Department, the city recorded over 200 homicides in 2022, underscoring the persistent struggles with public safety for the over 2.3 million residents. Upon arrival, authorities stumbled across the badly wounded body of a young black woman lying in the lobby of the luxury apartment building. Houston paramedics responded to the scene and shortly thereafter pronounced the female deceased having succumbed to multiple gunshot wounds. Vanity Williams, a 34-year-old Air Force veteran, had recently returned to nursing school with the goal of opening a medical spa in the future. To supplement her income, she maintained a side career as an OnlyFans model known as Vixen the Doll. Additionally, Vanity, who identified as a transgender woman, engaged in sex work on escort listing sites such as TS Escorts, where she charged $500 to $1,000 for her services. Trans women often find themselves navigating a complex social landscape marked by systemic discrimination and economic marginalization, which can lead many to engage in sex work as a means of survival. In one case, a transgender woman was hired as a customer service representative at a McDonald's in D.C. and was later promoted for good work. 2 years later, she began her transition. Her managers continued to use a male name and male pronouns for her and ridiculed her for being transgender. One supervisor allegedly harassed this woman for using the women's restroom, yelling, "What are you doing using the female bathroom?" telling her that she was not a woman. Following the incident, the woman filed a discrimination complaint with the D.C. Office of Human Rights. According to her lawsuit, 8 days later, she was fired. This month, October 2024, she won a near $1 million judgment. In Georgia, a transgender woman was met with sexual harassment from co-workers on her very first day at work. When she reported the abuse to the franchise restaurant's owner, the complaint alleges she was not only outed to her harasser as transgender, but she was told that, as a trans woman, it should be an honor that someone liked her enough to hit on her. After having a meeting with her manager, the harassment continued, with one of her co-workers yelling homophobic slurs and threatening to beat the transgender woman. She was soon terminated. This past summer, she and Chick-fil-A franchise owner IJE Hospitality settled out of court. At a Publix in Florida, a transgender employee was also told by management not to use the women's bathroom because she would scare the women because she looked like a man and that she was not female by public standards. In the months that followed, her co-workers allegedly attacked and harassed her, calling her a he, she, shim, and Ms. Thing. A female deli worker at the store even grabbed her buttocks while she was walking and said she just wanted to feel if the transgender woman was wearing booty pads. In another instance, a manager told her to wear a compression bra because her appearance was embarrassing and was bringing negative attention. Allegedly, she was asked, "Why can't you be like the other gay people? Be gay and keep it to yourself." The harassment allegedly continued until a day in 2019 when another manager told her, "We don't tolerate homosexuals in my country." After confronting the manager, she was escorted out of the store by a security guard who continued the harassment as he yelled, "Get the F out of Publix." In many cases, sex work presents a more immediate source of income compared to traditional employment, offering flexibility and autonomy that is hard to find in the competitive job market. Furthermore, the criminalization of sex work often puts trans women at greater risk of violence and exploitation. Vanity's friends described her as a loyal and straightforward person, yet they were baffled as to why anyone would want to kill her. They said she created a safe, welcoming environment for everyone, making it unfathomable that someone would want to harm such a kind-hearted individual. Vanity had a wonderful sense of humor and always had something upbeat to say. Even if she wasn't feeling her best, she would always make it her mission to make those around her laugh and smile. She was passionate about uplifting the Black community and issues that affected Black trans women. So what possible motive could the perpetrator have had for taking the life of this beautiful woman? Thankfully, it didn't take long for authorities to locate their suspect. A week after her murder, a SWAT unit converged on a home on Lac Verret Drive around noon to help the Houston Police Department execute an arrest warrant. Their suspect, 26-year-old Tristan Sanders, surrendered without incident. Houston police say they tracked Tristan to the New Orleans area and that he lived at a number of locations in the metro since fleeing Texas. Louisiana State Police, the New Orleans Police Department, the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office, and the St. Charles Parish Sheriff's Office searched multiple locations before St. Charles deputies found their suspect in Luling. As of today, authorities have not made any statements in regard to how Vanity and Tristan knew one another. However, friends of the victim have stated that the two knew one another, but they also would not go into further details. Across social media, Vanity's friends echoed a quote she often lived by. "I don't fear death. I fear injustice." Tori Cooper, Director of Community Engagement for the HRC Transgender Justice Initiative, stated, "Vanity spent her life serving her country and community, and she should still be here today, continuing to pursue her own dreams. Instead, in another senseless death, she was let down by the same forces that continue to plague our community: transphobia, misogynoir, and gun violence." Vanity is at least the third transgender victim in Texas this year, following the deaths of Diamond Brigman in March and Dylan Gurley in July. She is at least the 25th transgender individual to be violently unalived this year. This heartbreaking statistic is a stark reminder of the pervasive violence that continues to threaten the lives of transgender individuals, particularly Black trans women.
A new study from Rice University finds hate crimes in our area are severely underreported. ABC 13 reporter Pooja Lodia is live with the latest findings and what they mean for you.
You know, this is truly something that impacts every single one of us. The problem for authorities is that you really can't try to address crime that hasn't been reported. Kristen Valentine knows what it's like to be judged.
People look at the trans identity first before they look at me being a human first. And honestly, I have the same bills as you. I eat the same type of food. Well, maybe not because I'm picky, but and I am somebody who strives in and being myself, just like everybody else.
Kristen says she doesn't call police for help.
I've had girlfriends call the police and say, "I'm going through something," right? And they never showed up. They never showed up. They never came. And it was literally those instances that made you realize, well, is everybody gonna hate us? Is everybody not gonna? So we're not gonna be protected from nothing, even though we pay taxes?
Last year, Houston police reported just 35 hate crime incidents, which researchers with the Kinder Institute believe shows underreporting and a lack of awareness.
We only heard from about 30% of our respondents that they had reported their incident to a police officer or police or sheriff's department.
The new Kinder Institute report shows most hate crime victims in our area don't report crimes because they don't believe police will address them.
This is not just about a singular victim. This is about attacking a community. This is about trying to demean and disempower an entire group of people.
Sometimes I feel that we have allyship, but a lot of times I don't. And it's only when it's popular to do at some points, when it's November or when, something is, but other than that, no.
Rest in power, Vanity Williams.